We want to get back to that deadly mass shooting out of Virginia Beach where 12 people died. Reporter Chris Pallone talked to people as they described the terror of a shooter in their workplace.
The mayor of Virginia Beach, Virginia, like so many others in the city, in a state of shock.
This is the most devastating day in the history of Virginia Beach.
After a man walked into a municipal office building and started shooting.
Shortly after 4 p.m. this afternoon, the suspect entered Building 2. He's a longtime employee of Public Utilities. I will not release his name at this time. And he immediately began to indiscriminately fire upon all the victims.
Employees say it was a normal Friday afternoon until a little after 4 when they heard the unmistakable sound of gunfire.
We heard shooting, but we didn't think it was actually at the courthouse because it was kind of muffled.
We just heard people yelling and screaming to get down.
In the chaos, city employees tried to hide or escape, unsure where the gunman was.
We barricaded ourselves in the office. We put the desk up against the door because we didn't know if they were coming in or anything.
Police quickly responded and confronted the shooter.
I can tell you that it was a long gun battle between those 4 officers and that suspect.
Police shot and killed the shooter. He was carrying a .45 caliber handgun with an attached sound suppressor and several extended magazines. When it was over, the horror apparent. 12 victims dead. At least 4 others rushed to local hospitals for treatment.
We have found victims on all 3 floors of the building, as well as one victim who was outside.
Those who survived, stunned.
But I'm still shaken because it's just entirely too much killing going on.
I don't know what kind of person would do something like that.
As the reality of what happened sets in, police will try to answer the biggest question on everyone's minds: why? Chris Pallone, NBC News.